Hey everyone, welcome to Sketch A Day Live. It is Tuesday, August something, August 5th? Something like that? I don't know. We're just gonna draw. I'll just tell you straight up, I'm gonna do a hand tool, power drill, something like that. And then I gotta go get ready for my kids to come back from summer vacation. So if you're joining on YouTube, welcome. Hello Lynette. How you doing? Yeah, definitely share that project in the Discord when you get a chance. If you guys want to participate in chat, whatnot, YouTube is the place to be. That's where I'm watching for the chat. Thinking about streaming on Twitch as well. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I don't know much about Twitch. I really don't. I know a lot of gamers use it, but I don't really know too much. All right, so I'm going to be using Procreate today. Let me grab my input here. I forgot. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I've got this nifty thing here. Or sorry, Instagram. So I've got this nifty dongle that's going to output to the YouTube. And that way we can have, let's see. Is this working? Why is this not working? There we go. So yeah, that way you guys can see the full output. Actually, let me make a tweak here. I'll be right back. Huh, weird. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so you should see the full screen output. I'm going to start with a, let's see, 11 by 17, which is, I think, A3 sized, roughly. That's what I'm going to start with. We're just going to do some warm-ups. I'm using my brush kit that's available on my website. I'll just use the Spencil to begin. It's just a digital pencil that has a somewhat natural feel. For those of you guys on YouTube, if you're curious, this is how I'm holding my tablet. Right here, I've got my hand underneath, like so. Just kind of resting it. I don't do this enough to commit to, let's see, having like a full stand or anything. I was trying to fix a little bit of the video frame here. There's a little gap on the side, but it's okay. Something's a little messed up with my OBS. Tom says go for it. I think I like it. You can get subscribers and mods, VIPs. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know much about Twitch Creative. I just know about Twitch Gaming. A little bit here and there. So, would kind of be a new experience for me. But I'll look into it. I should probably stream on Facebook as well at some point. Maybe I'll do different platforms on different days. I don't know. It'll be a lot of work though. Alright, so just doing some lines. We'll do some circles. Always try and warm up when you can. You guys were asking for some digital stuff, so just gonna keep rolling here. I haven't downloaded or re-downloaded concepts in Forge yet, but I will. I'll check them out. Maybe we can do a video featuring those apps pretty quick. Alright, let's do some ellipses. I guess I could do these on the same layer. I'll just do them in red. So just a little ellipse exercise here. Trying to imagine cutting through these circles, or spheres I should say. Can get kind of messy, but just roll with it. Whole point here is just warming up the muscles so we can draw and not go from zero to sketch. If you've ever noticed when you're sitting to sketch, your first sketch usually looks like garbage. At least mine does, I should say. I don't want to accuse you guys of producing garbage, but my first sketch usually does. And that tends to happen if I just go in cold and I'm not like warmed up in any way. So always helpful, beneficial. Since you guys always ask for one, I'll just do this quick warm-up. You've seen this before if you've watched the stream. Also, if it's your first time on the YouTube, hit subscribe, turn on alerts. I'm just going to do a series of ellipses here, just progressively opening them up. Just progressively opening them up as I go. And you can do this on paper as well. Alright, there are more people watching the Instagram today, so I will not shut it down. But it's kind of pointless if nobody's watching it, you know? At least it feels pointless to me. So thanks for joining, YouTubers. And Tom, I didn't realize you were a final year student. I just saw you had commented on something about that. So congrats on almost wrapping things up with school. It's pretty awesome. So the warm-up I'm talking about is where you can actually take these ellipses and basically pull a car out of these ellipses. Just pull the right lines and apply them in the right spots. So don't underestimate your warm-ups. Super beneficial. Okay, super helpful. Because little did you know, you were practicing how to draw a car when you were warming up. All right. So just a little fun exercise to show you the value of warming up here. Alright, so real quick, there we go. Quick car. So no one has to ask me anymore. Yay! No, I know a lot of you like cars, so totally fine. And if I wanted to, I could, take this layer, scale it down a little bit, drop the opacity. So 2-finger tap on a layer in Procreate lets you adjust the opacity. And then now, if I wanted to, I could kind of overlay this sketch and do something better on top. Just pull out that detail. Might as well do it since we're here. And then I'll do the hand tool I wanted to do. So I get a lot of questions about tablets, what tablet I'm using, which tablet's the best. Simple answer is whatever works for you. The reason I'm thinking about this is I'm just looking at my Cintiq on my desk. The only reason I actually bought the Cintiq was to make brushes for you guys because a lot of people were asking. So if you haven't checked those out, you can check them out on my website, sketchaday.com. Or if you're a patron, you've been hanging out for a bit, hit me up. I'll hook it up. Just pass those on to Svetlana and Art this week. Well, actually the Procreate brushes, but either or. If you've been a Patreon, just as a thank you, I do give my brushes to you. All right. This car is a little funky just based on the perspective here, but or lack thereof, depending on your opinion. But yeah, we can pull out some shapes just like that from our warm-up, make a few tweaks, and we have car. I guess it's another Lexus Audi hybrid thing. Now maybe it's a little bit Nissan. Again, it's really hard to, I think, come up with something that someone doesn't go, oh, it looks like this or that. Alright, that feels better. Probably tweak that wheel. But yeah, congrats, Tom. It's got to be, I remember that feeling. Nearing completion. You're studying industrial design, correct? I believe. Yeah, this is really busy, but whatever. I just took a warm-up sketch and turned it into a sketch I could use. Probably need to open this back wheel a little bit. I'd have to redraw it a couple times. And maybe make this front wheel a little bit bigger, but you can just do a quick selection. We'll hack it together. Rotate. Make it a little bit wider. Something like that. Yeah, that feels better. Feels a lot better. Alright, let me check the chat here, see what you guys are saying. What's up? Alright, so if I had that layer, now I have my sketch right there. Looks like I have a couple of stray lines, so I'll just erase these. Let's use a nice hard eraser so I can get some precision. Touch up some lines if I have to. Boom. So we got something like that. All right, let's see. Abhishek, hello. Sam, MJ, Ram, hello. Aspiro a dibujar tan increíble como tú. Gracias. Latrice, what's up? Sam, what are we sketching today? Right now I'm just warming up with a car, and then I'm gonna do a hand drill, and that'll be my sketch today. So once again, I do upload, or will be uploading, the sketches right after the stream. Those will be available to patrons. I'm going to post on the Patreon page. Okay. So if you want access to these, become a patron, just as a thank you. Otherwise, keep watching. It's all good. Watching the stream. Alright, so just a simple black and white car sketch here. One thing you can do, I kind of did this on Sunday for Sci-Fi Sunday, so if you have a sketch, you can kind of tweak things if you need to warp, tweak the perspective, whatever. You can kind of do a little bit of that here. Alright, so if I want to kind of tweak some of these shapes, whatever, get some taper going, we can kind of do that. And then once you're good with that, we can actually duplicate this layer. So swipe, duplicate, and then let's go ahead and flip and scale. I'm going to do a uniform scale. Scale this down like so. And then on this sketch, if we wanted to, say, change the front end, right, or lights or something, then you can quickly move through concepts that way. So just another way to work. Maybe this is some electric car. No need for a grill on the front. Maybe. Well, you can play with different designs this way. If we want to Danny C-ify the car, we can have like a body kit come down to the ground or something. Danny likes body kits. If you have no idea who I'm talking about, maybe Tom can post a link in the chat or share on the Discord. Just a car design friend of mine who posts on Instagram quite a bit, does live streams. You can learn a lot from him if you're curious. So yeah, maybe I want some ridiculous body kit on this one. Kind of just sketch that in. And I'm using Procreate, FYI, on an iPad Pro. Oh yeah, I forgot I was talking about tablets. So as far as what tablet to buy, just buy whatever you can afford that has the features you need. They're all very similar these days, to me anyways. So it's just about how much you want to spend. A decent iPad is about $1,000. iPad Pro anyways. If you wanted to get a cheaper iPad, you could. It'll still let you sketch with Procreate on it. I just like the Pro, personally. Plus I have like LTE cellular service or whatever on mine. So that's a thing. If you're considering, that may affect your purchase. Anyhow, so you can kind of duplicate that sketch, flip it, and now you have two sketches on the page. All right, links can be oh, we can't post. Okay, I'll look it up real quick. And then I'll post. I'll share that with you. All right, here's his Instagram. If you're really into cars, check him out. What's up, Roshan? Maybe I will add a plant as an overlay into my stream. Maybe I will. So yeah, then if you want to do another sketch, you know, you could kind of place it, rotate it a little bit. Maybe move this one down. Kind of rotate and scale. Something like that. And then now tweak the sketch lines. Maybe this one has a shadow coming off the page, for example. Just enough to make it feel like a different sketch. Keep it kind of graphic. And so maybe not just the front, but you could change the body side on this one. Sorry, I didn't anticipate this turning into a car sketching session. But here we are. Let's deal with it. I'm like super nervous because Roshan's watching me. He's really good. Alright, let's see. How do I want to do this light? Maybe I'll do just a vertical something coming down like that. Then we'll change our little fascia here. So all this from a warm-up sketch. Just some ways for you to work efficiently and quickly. Just by taking the same sketch and duplicating. Now, if you're taking the same sketch and duplicating, you're not really learning, though. So if you're trying to draw cars, I would suggest... This is more of like a design exercise than it is a drawing exercise. So if you're trying to... So this is kind of taking on this angular aesthetic, but if you're trying to get better at drawing something, repetition is your friend. So you'll want to just find ways to do the same thing over and over again. Like draw a car several times. And that's gonna help you out. I'm just tweaking things here until I find something I like. And then if you really wanted to, you could overlay the whole page. And that would give you some additional concepts. So the Procreate file from today's stream will be available for patrons. I need to update the video description for that, but that'll be available for patrons if you're interested. Patreon.com/sketchday. Alright, I mean, you could put some other sketches in here or whatever if you wanted. Or just kind of create some background elements. You know, things like that. If you wanted to. So, just a couple ways to kind of work quickly from one sketch. And have a bunch available on your page as you're working. Just working efficiently here. And then use line weight to show overlap or gaps where you need them. Shade for texture or whatever. If you wanted to color these up, you could too. Certainly. I don't want to. Because it takes so long, but I don't want to. Alright, so you could do something like that. Let's see. Oh, you saw his live session. Cool. Brian is asking, do I do gesture sketching as an exercise? Sometimes. I am more of a line artist or illustrator. Like, that's my jam. I understand lines. I can use lines a lot. I'm trying to paint more. That's something I'm working on, but I do tend to do more line-based art for sure. Art, drawing, whatever. That's kind of what I do. Alright, so let's go back to the gallery. Like I said, this is going to be available after the stream. Hopefully it won't crash on me like Sunday's stream and I lost the file. I just posted a link as well in the YouTube chat. I'm getting questions about tablet I use and apps and all that stuff. Tools. Sketchday.com/stuff is where you want to go. If you have any questions about anything I use, all the answers are there. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, Ram, no worries. Está bien. Todo está bien. Hablo un poquito español. Entiendo más que puedo platicar. O puedo hablar. Okay. What was I doing? Oh, drill. So let's do some drills. Let's see. 26. Alright, we got time. We got time. We'll make this just a quick sketch page. So, if you're doing something like a drill, it's kind of helpful. If you want, you could draw some axes. You know, maybe just some lines like this to kind of start. And that's going to basically give you trajectory for where we need to place our ellipses. Now, yes, in Procreate, you can make all your ellipses perfect if you want to. It's totally a thing. But I'm not going to. I'm going to try and draw mine by hand. So what I'm doing here is I'm imagining a box like so, which tells me my ellipse is off. All right. So 1, 2, 3. I'll just start with something like that. Okay, get some cylinders in, maybe a little bit of taper here. All right. So something like that, and then even looking at this line, I might want to change the angle a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and imagine some sort of oblong shape here for my handle. Start with a rough sketch if you have to. In my case, I have to because I haven't done one of these in a long time. It's been a minute. Alright, so something like that is my frame. Keep it rough, and then I'll do an overlay. Alright, I'll fix this business in a bit. Let's do another one. See, now I feel like I'm starting to warm up a little bit with drills. Sometimes it takes a few sketches, get the hang of it, rough it out, and then we'll come back and do the thing, do how we do. So special shout out and thanks to the patrons as always for your support. You guys are the best. And just a reminder, in the Discord now we have roles for patrons as well as a special channel for patrons. So if you want to reach me, communicate, whatever, that's the place to be. Normally I would do this with like red and blue lines, but I can always drop the opacity and then finish things up if I want to, or move stuff around. So like this little sketch here, My first one I wasn't too sure about. I'm gonna move it. And then I'll take this one here. Gonna move it as well. And this one. Just move it up just a little bit. There we go. So that feels a little bit more balanced. Maybe plan ahead for a background of some sort. Maybe some sort of shadow stuff going on. All right, so now 2-finger tap, I can slide on that layer. Still using my stencil to get my lines in. Available on my website. Me han dicho que México es muy lindo, pero nunca he ido. Qué bueno. Hacemos bocetas hoy. Good vibes from Colombia. Good vibes to you too. Soy de Jamaica. Soy un jamaiquino. El negrito de jamaiquino. Or Jamaica. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go. Oops, wrong one. Those are Roshan's pencils at the top. You can check out his brush kit too if you want. I'm gonna use some rough pencils here. And so now that I kind of have an idea of these ellipses and what I'm doing, I'm just gonna come in, get some lines in place. You know, if I really wanted this sketch to pop on Instagram though, I would take a picture of a real sketch and then Photoshop it. That would be like the ideal. Because then people would think that I did the sketch on paper and it just looked that good. It'd be pretty cool. You know, add some highlights on like real paper. Just make it look real cool. But then if you really want it to pop, you add a plant. That's what you do. This tune's a little too upbeat. What's up, Luca? Liquid Tuesday? I am enjoying a White Claw right now. I am. Thank you, Lynette. I learned Spanish when I lived in Texas for a little bit, so I know Tex-Mex is really what I know. Alright, so just kind of sketching over here now. Taking a little bit more care. A little bit more care as we go. Especially because Roshan's watching. I've heard he's like the authority on industrial design on Instagram. So I gotta be careful here. All right, maybe just a couple grip lines. I've not heard how Candy Duffer plays the saxophone. I have no idea who that is. Who's Candy Duffer? I don't even know who that is. Who dat? So yeah, when I'm sketching, I take more time with my lines because, to me anyways, the color is just that much easier when you have decent lines in place. Or you just, I guess, you could be more careful with your color as well. If you weren't being as careful with your lines, but something magical I think happens when you do have some nice tight lines or tighter lines. I don't like perfect sketches either. Some people like that. What I mean is, say in Procreate here, maybe I should, looking at my ellipse. I'll just fix it here. But I could, you know, draw an ellipse here, hold, and now Procreate gives me an ellipse and I can just place it. That's why I was saying I needed to fix my ellipse. I could see it was off a little bit there on the bottom. But I do like the challenge personally. So that's why I draw how I draw. Let's get our little chuck here. The chuck is basically what's holding the bit in place. So it has these collapsible teeth, and then erase what we don't need. It sounds like rat-a-tat, but it's not rat-a-tat. Interesting. Alright, so with this pencil in my kit, you can actually tilt as well and shade. So, kind of handy. You just want to add some value to your sketch. Just keep it a nice pencil sketch here. And do some value shading on the handle. I do think Procreate does probably the best job of the tilt to shade functionality that you get. Fresco's pretty decent, but Procreate definitely, I think, does the best job. So a little bit of texture there. Texture and value shading. Alright, don't worry. We'll add color to one of these. We'll add some color. Selva is asking if I have products out on the market. Yes, I do. So I've done a lot of work for a company called Zag. They're a local company here. Have some headphones that I did for them. Some other products that I'm not sure if they're out yet. That I did for them. I've done some data storage products. Got acquired by a company. So that's called the Vivint Smart Drive. I've also done some smart home products for that same company. Thermostat, doorbell, camera. Worked on some products that didn't actually make it because of internal corporate stuff. happens. It happens. Anyway, I worked on a door lock there. I hope I can say that. Worked on a door lock there. And some other interesting things, I'll just say that. Smart home connectivity devices. Have some toys out on the market as well. Just Hasbro Play School stuff that I've done in the past. I mean, it's hard to even tell if they're still being sold, but maybe. Maybe. So I'm just kind of putting a generic chuck bit thing in here. Just because that's a whole design exercise on its own. Really. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Alright, if you are watching on Instagram, the stream will end in about 10-15 minutes. So if you want to catch more, YouTube's where you want to be. At least that's where I'm hanging out. Also, that's where I'll answer questions and respond to things right now. Unless I do an Instagram specific stream, but I really don't have a reason to right now. So that's where the party's at. I'm just gonna do a quick check here. My lips just feel a little bit off. So let me do a quick check. I'll just draw through. So we'll just do a series here. Maybe a part at that point. Alright, that feels better. So I turn off the underlayer. There we go. So that feels good. So, the Umbrella Academy. Are you guys watching? No spoilers, please. No spoilers, but I think I was saying last time I just got into it. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. I like the idea that this battery slides in like this way. That's what I'm trying to do here. Have like a little sandwich with a little pokey outy. Maybe just some little recess in here. here. Kind of pull the battery out. Let's get our pencil shade on. It's actually one of my favorite ways to sketch. So then you don't have to spend a lot of time describing surfaces. Just throw some quick pencil on like that. As long as you understand light and what's happening, it's really easy. Shadow core, shadow core. Maybe some knurling on this part. So this is using my rough pencil. Some of them have tilt, some don't. This is from the Mega Pack, or you can just get the pencils alone. If you just want the markers, you can get those alone as well. Lots of options for you. I guess I need some vents on this for the motor. So maybe I could put some cuts just along this back edge or something. So it's like integrated. Little logo action. Or perhaps it's a toggle switch on the side for the direction of the drill movement. Alright, something like that. So when I focus with the shading on the cores here, it's really just trying to show the shadow core. Let the lines do most of the work, but indicate where surfaces are changing. So just allows you to move fairly quickly. Then we'll just go ahead and shade our barrel here. Alright, so now we'll do one with color. Okay, I'll do one with color for you. And we'll wrap it up. Alright, so we got our 2 drills. So I'll do this third one with color. So new layer. We have a full-blown Spanish conversation happening in the chat today. We're international. That's how we roll. Alright, let's see if I can... Yeah, something more chill. Something a little more chill. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this one here. Once again, welcome to Sketchaday Live. If it's your first time, head over to youtube.com/sketchaday.com. Let me know where you're watching from. Be sure to, as Latrice always says, give me a like and a subscribe. If you want access to behind the scenes, what I'm up to, all that stuff, become a patron. I'm starting to post day in the life videos. Not even day in the life right now, but moments in my life. So I'm gonna be sharing a bit more stuff there. So if that is something you are curious about, go check it out at patreon.com/sketchaday. All right, so a little trigger action here. just want a lighter line at this transition. And I think I'll kind of introduce some tangency to this like feature line here for the grip. Maybe just have some texture lines here along the handle. So like cars, power tools are challenging because as soon as you assign a color, you can almost always associate it with a certain brand. Unless I made it like brown, but pretty much all the primary colors are like spoken for when it comes to power tools. Pretty much. Alright, let's keep working on these lines here. Okay, if you're watching on the Instagram, again, your stream will be over soon. So if you want to catch the color version of this, head over to youtube.com/sketchaday.com. And if you like the stream, make sure you hit like and subscribe. None of the placement of any of these elements is founded in any sort of research, by the way. So we're just illustrating drills at this point. I should give you that disclaimer and caveat. Because if you were designing a real product, you would want to test it with real people and see how the placement of elements on your design affect usability and so forth. So by no means is this meant to say, here is a perfect drill design. We're just illustrating drills. Alright, so maybe this one doesn't have anything in the chuck. I mean, we could still hint at something, like a little drill bit. Just something like that. Keep it clean. So I'm going to use color, but I do want to have some texture on the front here, so just using these lines. And maybe a little knurl on the side profile. All right. So I will be back tomorrow. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream. So some housekeeping items. Working with a client on Thursday and Friday. So if I do end up having the mental energy and capacity to stream and draw some more, I'll do some streams in the evening. My evening, which will probably be about 6 hours from this time. So whenever that is for you. I'm going to be doing that. So that'll be Thursday and Friday. So I may not stream at the regular time on those days. I do get my kids back this week. So that means I'm gonna, be spending some time with them and hearing about their summer. So I may be a little bit hit or miss. I'll just see how it goes, but usually it takes a little time for us to adjust, if you will, after summer vacations, all that stuff. I should say, by the way, for those who are watching on Instagram, if you ever want to catch a replay of my stream in full glory, you can always check out the YouTube. Everything's archived there. All right. So you can always peep that. Anyhow, so my point is, as a full-time single father, time gets a little bit spotty once my kids are back. So just bear with me. Appreciate your patience and all of that. Okay, let's get this. So whenever I have a complicated shape like this, I don't try and figure out the exact shadow. I just kind of put some shapes in. All right, just to kind of hint at a shadow. And then we had this background element here. So I'm going to slightly tweak the position of this, just like so. So yeah, there we go. So I've got two sketches now, and then a main sketch. So let's go ahead and add some color. I'm going to go with red. Everyone's going to be like, that's a Milwaukee. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's really hard to... Yeah, it's really hard to have something different. Okay, so I'm going to use my marker brush here. I'll use some airbrush stuff as well. Right, the idea being here, if you just wanted to quickly replicate what you do on paper, you can kind of do that. Right, similar look and approach. Let's go ahead and change my color here, go a little bit deeper, then I can create my shadow core where I want it. And then just erase what you don't need. So I'm erasing a little bit here because I want to catch just a little bit of a highlight on this top surface, okay? So I'm going to erase a little bit, and then I'll go back to my brush, a little bit brighter, smaller. Still hit it, just a little lighter. And blend. Erase and touch up. On the sides, so wherever a surface changes direction, definitely want to be a little bit darker. So here on the side of this raised feature, go a little bit darker. Some of these edges here. This is all in the same layer, by the way. I figure I'd treat it the same since it's kind of like a marker treatment. Alright, so something like that. It's a fun song. Listening to just some chill hop, lo-fi. Still waiting on my final tracks from Mr. Paul Sohi, but once I get them, I will kind of switch my musical thing. Alright, let's do some gray now. So this is all on the same layer. I could be doing this on separate layers, but I'm just going to do it on the same layer. Keep it scratchy and sketchy. Okay, just shading this handle. So just shading this in. I don't care that it looks a little rough or toned differently right now. Because again, I want it to feel like a sketch. I don't want it to feel like I'm trying to replicate a photo. Let's pick some of this red. Now on a new layer. Let's jump to my round brush here. I'm going to have red in some of these grip lines. Do I know of any pages for typography for t-shirt? Are you looking to do like your own handwriting, or is it just more about how to make t-shirts? I've made t-shirts before. It's not as difficult as you might think. Latrice. So yeah, let me know what you're looking for specifically. Yeah, I'm not loving these lines on the handle, but I'll leave them for now. I could always do this, so tap my little magic wand here. I'm gonna crank the saturation down and then the brightness, and then just have like a gray texture there, and then maybe make the button red. Yeah, I like that better. So I'll make this button red. And the battery. Keep it simple. So it's just a solid red color. Nothing to it right now, but I can take my marker brush. So like this real marker, for example, a little lighter color. And now just add some highlights where I need them. Obviously, a white marker doing this in real life would be very challenging, but I like the tone of this brush and the way that it blends. So I'm going to use that to my advantage here. Alright, to kind of give this some quick 3D shape, just like that. And just continue toning here. And again, I don't usually work on the same layer, but just want to work kind of quick on this. Get a nice little blend in there. A little bit of reflected light on the back side here and on the front underneath. catch this edge. Something like that. Alright, so all these things kind of just working together. Actually go full white for this. A couple of hot spots up top. Let's get your light catching edges. I'm going to make this completely black. These little recesses. Just take that marker brush. Just kind of hit it. Just like that. All right, 1 hour, 7 minutes. We'll wrap up real quick here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Time is precious for sure. And I appreciate you hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I did, as always. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully around the same time. We'll see. My kids might want to do something, so... because I haven't seen them for like 2 months. So it's kind of exciting getting them back. Should be fun. All right, so the front here, let's see. How about I make this red as well? But maybe just like a matte texture. So like some texture contrast, and then I'll do gray above it. So for that, I need to use my airbrush. Actually, I'm going to use... let's use my air highlighter. And I'm going to go with some nice white right there. Nice and matte. Maybe a little smaller. Bit of reflected light here, and then I'm just going to pull from the colors that are already here. Now I can kind of build up a core, and then on the opposite side of this highlight add a little bit of a core as well, something like that. Maybe back to this pink to soften this highlight a little bit, because if I want it to be matte, that's what it's going to look like. So now on top of all this, actually I'll just do the same layer. And let's jump to just this plain round brush. Get this gray stuff in here. This metal. Yeah, it's turned out all right. Turned out all right. Thank you, Lynette. I will spend some time together with them. I'm glad you made a Spanish friend, yes. Join the Discord, hang out, be part of the community. And I'm open to suggestions if you guys have ideas on how to make that more exciting, interesting, interactive, whatever. I'll try and pop in more, for example. So let me know. I'll be happy to take all that stuff into consideration. Okay, I'm going to use a marker brush to finish this up real quick. So, highlight at the top, fade that down, highlight up here, and then now I'm going to switch to some darker values. Okay, and then kind of create a gradient at this point. So that's going to help me make this feel more like some sort of metal. You can even go to full black here. Take some of this black, shade on this side, right on this edge, because you want contrast where your surfaces change direction. Want some nice contrast there, so don't be afraid of that contrast. It's gonna help things pop and feel feel more real for you. All right, so I'll take an airbrush, just this nice soft airbrush here, and just want to create some value along some contrast. So you can always squint your eyes, take a look at your drawing, and if things aren't feeling 3D enough, chances are you just need to have some increased contrast at certain points. And how do you decide where those areas are? Well, when you squint your eyes, decide if you can see those values. If you can't see those values, then and value changes, then you need to up your contrast. All right, so that's kind of what I'm just doing here, just squinting, taking a look at this, and then deciding, okay, where do I need to add a little bit of pop? Pop and sizzle. Pop and sizzle, my nizzle. All right. And then just on these little grooves here, just gonna add a little white line. All right, something like that, and then maybe just a heavier black line on the back side. Little dip, heavy, dip, heavy, heavy. So it kind of reinforces this grip here. Maybe some texture dots. Oh, that's what I was gonna add on this red area is some speckles. So I have these speckle brushes, just gonna help this feel more matte and textured where I want it to be. I guess I didn't really finish up here, so let's grab just a little round brush. I'll just fill this in, a little black, leave some white on the top. Something like that. All right, so these other sketches here, what you can do is take something like one of these marker brushes, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm on a layer below my sketch, and now, okay, I need a big marker. All right, I'm just gonna add a little shadow to help this kind of pop. Just a little bit here. All right, so just something like that, kind of help it pop off the page. If you want to adjust the opacity, you can do that, or if you wanted to color in the background, that's also something you could do as well. Lots of options, depending on what you're after. All right. All right, I'm just adding a little texture to this button. So if I just have the white and then like a little bit of this red on the downward facing surface, when I zoom out, it should feel like little bumps. Okay. And maybe I have some directional arrow. Throw in some text of some sort. Little texture on the rubber handle here. Texture flex. So I'm just tapping the screen with this white stencil, kind of in a random fashion, and that's going to give me a little bit of quick texture. All right. Well, guys, thank you for hanging out. Just want to review real quick. So we did our drill today, and then we also did our quick car sketch exercise just to warm up and show you how you can take one sketch, duplicate it, rotate it, place it, and come up with some quick things. Kind of did the same with these drills as well. So try that for yourself. Let me know how it goes. If you guys like the stream, like I said, give me a like, subscribe, whatever. Hang out. I'm missing my other light because I'm using it to take some photos of my lamp project right now. Check out the website, sketchaday.com. That's where I have all the information on materials. I've got brushes. There's a blog there that I need to update. And also a little gallery of photos as well. Become a patron if you want access to the full high-res files. I'll be uploading those after the stream to our little file bucket, if you will, that I'm setting up for patrons. So you'll have access to the file if you want to do a time lapse, if you want to see all the layers, all of that stuff will be in those files. But if you want to support in other ways, just being here is important and totally helps. So I appreciate you taking the time. If you've learned something, I want you to go share that something with someone. So teach them about color or light, or teach them about Procreate, whatever it is. Take a minute to do that because it's going to help you integrate whatever it is you've learned today. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you tomorrow on Sketch Day. Take care.